Alright, it is Monday, which means it's another live stream using our level 1 workbook, and we're going to be practicing more Korean grammar today. Today we are going to be learning a new particle, and the particle we're going to be practicing is this the particle. It attaches to nouns, and it is what's known as the plural particle. 안녕, hello, 안녕하세요. So we're going to be practicing this plural particle on page 118. We are getting close to the end of this book, but we've got a couple chapters left. Hello, just got my level 1 book today. Amazing! I'm glad it arrived safely. I hope you enjoy it. You can even work along with me if you like, or use it for future reference. It's up to you. So today we're learning ter, which is what I mentioned, the plural particle. So this is what you can add to nouns to make that noun a plural noun. A plural noun in English, if you don't know, is a noun that is more than one. So in English, we add s to things. So like pen becomes pens, or glass becomes glasses. Sometimes it's an es, depending on the word. But in Korean, they add ter. So let's practice first conjugating it. It's pretty simple. You attach ter to all nouns. Doesn't matter if the noun ends on a vowel or a consonant. Was I going to say peoples? Yes. English is funny like that. A saram. So saram means person. And so it becomes 사람들, which means people. I suppose you can say persons, but person becomes people, 사람들. Let's highlight this 들 so you can see it really clearly. Next, 한국 사람. What is a 한국 사람? Well, we have this part 사람 here, you'll recognize it here, which means person, and then we have the name 한국, which is a country. So literally we have Korea person, right? And more naturally, that would just be a Korean person or Korean. So you could say like, I am Korean, or there are Korean people, things like that. 한국 사람 is a Korean person. So how would you say Korean people? Plural. Well, we add 들 to the end, so it becomes 한국 사람들. Korean people. Marcus, yes. Now, how do you say friends with a plural? Well, we have the regular word 친구, which means friend. So we can just add 들 to the end to make 친구들, and that is friends with an S on the end. And lucky last, we have 미국 사람. Does anyone know what 미국 사람 means in Korean? 미국 사람들 is the plural form of this word. 키민. Yes, it means American, or an American person, literally. So this is Korean person. You can see the trend. You take a country and you add person to it, and it becomes how you call someone from that country. American, 미국 사람. Literally, 미국 is America and 사람 is person. So American person. Am I American? Well, technically yes, but also no. I was born here, but I didn't grow up here. But I have dual citizenship. It's a long story. Anyway, number 2. Given the Korean sentences, write an equivalent English expression. So we have these Korean sentences, and we're going to try to translate them into English. The first one is 제 친구들이 한국어를 공부해요. So what does this mean? Well, first we have 제 친구들. Now, 제 means my, and 친구들 is friends. So my friends, I can write that to start. What do? They 한국어를 공부해요. 한국어를 공부해요. 한국어 is Korean language and 공부해요 means to study. Yes, Marcus, Steph, my friends study Korean. There was a question here, does Korean have the concept of incomplete and complete sentences like English? I'm not sure what you're referring to, if you're referring to like how past tense can have past perfect or past imperfect, that kind of thing. In that case it does, but I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to with complete sentences. Oh, are you talking about things like omitting subjects and objects from sentences to be complete or incomplete? In that case, yes, it also has that. Anyway, the next sentence, 제 친구들이 영화를 좋아해요. So again, we have my friends, right? my 친구들, my friends, what do? They 영화를 좋아해요. What is 영화를 좋아해요? Well, 영화 means movie and 좋아해요 means to like. So my friends, movies like, or my friends like movies. Yes, glitch in the matrix, yes. My friends like movies. In Korean, the verb, remember, always goes at the end of the sentence. So these are the verbs, and it goes subject, object, verb. Subject, object, verb. C. 여자들이 꽃을 좋아해요. 여자들. What is 여자들? Does anyone know what that means? 여자들. It's just the noun 여자 plus the plural particle. Girls, the office, Marcus, yes. Women, yes. It can be any of those things. Girls, women, females, anything like that. I'm going to translate it to girls, but it could be anything. Girls, what do? They 꽃을 좋아해요. 꽃 is flowers. So girls like flowers. Of course, that's not an absolute rule. I'm sure there are some girls out there that don't like flowers, but we're making a blanket statement that 여자들이 꽃을 좋아해요. Girls like flowers. All right. Next, 사람들이 물을 마셔요. I prefer cupcakes. Cupcakes is a great selection for a gift. Highly approve. 사람들이 물을 마셔요. 사람들이 is people. We had that earlier. 사람들. What do people do? They 물을 마셔요. Barb in. Yes, good job. People drink water. 물 is water and 마셔요 means to drink. So people or the people could be either. Korean does not have words like a and the, but it could be the people drink water or people in general drink water. Could be either one. E. 사람들이 책을 읽어요. So again we have the people do something. In this case they 책을 읽어요. So this 책 means books and 읽어요 means to read. So this means people read books or the people read books. Either one could be possible. 사람들이 책을 읽어요. All right. I'm just going to highlight these plural particles so you can see what goes on. And you can see that always it's here been the subject particle E attached, right? Because ter ends on a consonant sound. So when it becomes the subject of a sentence, you add E to that noun. 사람들이. You could also say like 사람들은, which is also possible. That uses the topic particle. Okay, let's do the other way around, translating from English into Korean. The first one here is my friends read books. How would you say that in Korean? Well, we know how to say my friends. It is 제 친구들. My friend, plural. My friends, and they read books. This is the same piece as from up here, so we can just copy this down. 책을 읽어요. 제 친구들이 책을 읽어요. Rotate this a little bit more. All right. So my friends read books. Next, my friends like Korean dramas. My friends like Korean dramas. So we're going to have my friends again, so we can copy that. 제 친구들이. My friends, they like Korean dramas. Now remember that the object goes in the middle, right? Subject, object, verb. The Korean dramas is the object of this sentence. And Korean dramas in Korean is 한국, that's Korea, 한국, 드라마. Drama is dramas. So 제 친구들이 한국 드라마를 좋아해요. 좋아해요 is an action verb, so it uses the object particle. 제 친구들이 한국 드라마를 좋아해요. Alright, C. Korean people like coffee. This is very true. If you go to Korea, you will see coffee shops absolutely everywhere, on every corner. Korean people love coffee. And actually, I mean, who doesn't love coffee, honestly? Alright, so Korean people love coffee, or like coffee. Korean people is 한국 사람들이. We have 한국, Korea, 사람, person, 들, the plural particle, so people, and then the subject particle, because they are the subject of the sentence. 한국 사람들이. They like coffee. Coffee in Korean is 커피. And to like is an action verb. So, 를 좋아해요. 한국 사람들이 커피를 좋아해요. Korean people like coffee. Alright. Korean people like hiking. How do we say this? Hiking actually has been provided as a noun at the bottom. It's 등산. 등산. So, let's put this all together. We start with the subject, which is 한국 사람들이. Korean people, what do? They like hiking. Object comes first, hiking, which is 등산. 등산. This ends on a consonant, right? So we add 등산을 좋아해요. They like it. 한국 사람들이 등산을 좋아해요. E. Americans eat apple pie. This is, again, just a generalization, but a lot of Americans do eat and enjoy apple pie. So how do we say this in Korean? First off, Americans. Americans is 미국, that's America, the country. 사람, person, plus 들이, which is people. So American people is 한국 사람들이. Not the American stereotypes. I know. 미국 사람들이. Apple pie is apple pie. It's there in English. It's been provided as a vocab word, which we can just copy here. Apple pie. Okay, and how do you say you eat something? You use the object particle because eating is an action that you do. It's an active verb. And then 먹어요. So 미국 사람들이, American people, apple pie 먹어요. They eat it. All right. Good job, good job. And then the last one. Americans like baseball. How do we say this? We still have American people, Americans. So we can use this again. 미국 사람들이, American people. What is the word for baseball? It has also been provided here. 야구. 야구 is baseball in Korean. So 미국 사람들이 야구. It ends in a vowel, so we use the object particle 를. 야구를 좋아해요. They like it. 미국 사람들이 야구를 좋아해요. They like baseball. The 미국 사람들, the American people. All right, so we did some practice using 들. Now we have some multiple choice questions, just to check everyone, check that you're understanding what's going on. So select the correct answer to the following multiple choice questions. 1. The plural particle is attached to 1. Nouns, 2. Verbs, or 3. Adjectives. So what is attached to? Have a think, see if you know the answer to this. Your lovely sunshine, yes, perfect. It is 1. Nouns. Always attaches to a noun. B. If you are talking about more than one noun, you have to add the particle to that noun. Is that true or false? Is that true or false? You have to add if you're talking about more than one noun. Yes, Laura, Barb. Beautiful. The answer here is indeed false. So in English, right, if you're talking about multiple things, you kind of have to use the plural. But Korean is not the same. In Korean, you don't have to add to mean multiple things. Like, for example, if you said, actually you'll see it kind of below, but we'll see more about this. It is not required to use 들. This is the level 1 workbook. This is what the cover looks like. This is the one that I'm using right now. It is linked in this live stream. It is on Amazon and on our website. Okay, C. The 들 particle is most commonly used with people-related nouns. Is this true or false? So 들 is most commonly used with people-related nouns. What do you think about this? Is this true or false? Have a think. No, Barb, yes, correct. This is true. So it's not that 들 can only be used with people nouns. It can be used with any noun, but it's most commonly seen with people-related nouns. That's like friend, co-workers, I don't know, brothers, that sort of, those people nouns is when you'll most commonly see 들 used. But not exclusively. All right, D. How could we translate 사람? So we know that this means person, right? So can it be translated to 1 person, 2 people, or 3 either of the above? What can 사람 be translated to? Yes, Barb, Laura, no. Your lovely sunshine, yes. It can be either. So be careful about this. Just because there's no 들 particle doesn't necessarily mean that there's only one thing. It could be one or more. So be careful with this. Depending on the context and the sentence, 사람 could be person or it could be people. But what about this next one, E? How could we translate 사람들? Is it 1 person, 2 people, or 3 either of the above? Laura, yes. Barb, Brina, yes. This one can only be people. When you use the 들 particle, there is certainly more than one. But 사람, used by itself, can mean either. So keep that in mind. It's a little difference between Korean and English. Okay. Awesome. Let's do a couple more example sentences. This time we're going to combine 들 with another grammar form that we used in the past, 안. So 안 is a grammar form that you can add to sentences to mean not or don't. And we're going to use an in sentences that also use der. So let's have a go. We're going to translate from English into Korean. The first one is, my friends don't watch TV. My friends don't watch TV. So this don't is where our an comes in. All right. And now if you're not sure how an works, we learned it previously in this book. So you can always go back and refresh. There's a little link here, so you can go back to page 69 and check it if you don't remember. But here we're going to be using der and an. A, my friends don't watch TV. My friends is, oh, no cheat, 제 친구들. My is 제, and then 친구 is friend, and 들 is the plural particle to make friends. 제 친구들이, right? They're the subject of the sentence. They're the person that's doing the action. 제 친구들이, they don't watch TV. Laura, beautiful, great sentence. So, an goes before the verb. So, but first we have the object. So again, subject, object, verb. We've got our subject, right? 제 친구들. Now we need our object. The object is TV. Now, the correct way to write TV is television, but I'm going to take a shortcut and say TB. This is not really perfect Korean, perfect language, but it's a shortcut. Just like TV is a shortcut for television. 제 친구들이 TV를. It's the object of our sentence, uses the object particle. Could it be choi instead of 제? Yes. Choi is just a little bit more common in written language. 제 is technically actually a contraction of choye. So it's the same word, just contracted. 제 친구들이 TV를. Now here comes our an. It goes before the verb. And to watch is the verb 보다, which becomes 봐요 in the present tense. 제 친구들이 TV를 안 봐요. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so my friends don't watch TV. And of course, this could be the full televisioner as well. 안 봐요. B, my younger siblings don't drink coffee. So younger siblings has been provided here, 동생. Now, careful with this younger siblings, because here notice that we use 제, but when you're talking about your family, it's more natural to use 우리. When you're talking about your family members, 우리 is more natural than 제. Thank you. I'm glad they're helpful. So 우리 동생 is more natural. You can say 제 동생, but it's just a little less natural than 우리 동생. 테레비라고도 해요. 테레비. Ah, I haven't heard that. Interesting. 테레비. I like it. 우리 동생들. That makes it plural, so to specify that you have more than one younger sibling. They might be boys or girls, we don't know, but you have more than one younger sibling. 우리 동생들이. They don't drink coffee. So this is our subject. Now we need our object. The object is coffee. 커피를. As always, be careful to spell it this way, right? Because 커피 with an O means nosebleed. Remember that? 커피 is coffee, but 커피 is nosebleed. So here, 커피를. 안, they don't do something, right? 안. 마시다 is the verb to drink, which becomes 마셔요 in the present tense. 커피를 안 마셔요. They don't drink coffee. All right. Next we have, my dogs don't eat vegetables or veggies. So my dogs. Laura, yes, good job. There's a couple ways to say dogs. Again, you can say 우리 or 제. I guess it depends kind of if it's a family dog, maybe 우리. So that's why I'm going to use 우리 for the dog. And then for the word for dog itself, you can use 개 or 강아지. 개 or 강아지. Now the reason there's two different words is 개 by itself has kind of a negative association to it. 개 is used in a lot of swear words in Korean, so it's become more common to call dogs, especially pet dogs, right, family dogs, 강아지, which literally means puppy, but a lot of people say 강아지 to mean dog. So 우리 강아지들, to specify that you have more than one, right? 우리 강아지들이, my dogs, plural, don't eat veggies. Veggies in Korean is 야채. It's the object, so we add the object particle. And then 안, they don't do something. What do they not eat? They don't, what do they not do? They don't eat, which is 먹어요 in Korean. 안 먹어요 means they don't eat something. Question from Lydia. What's the difference between 제 and 우리? I can't say 우리 친구들이 or 제 동생들이. So this is a little tricky. Literally, 제 means my and 우리 means our, but they don't connect perfectly in English. The translations don't perfectly match because they're used for sort of different things, different types of relationships. 제 means my, but it's usually for personal things that aren't, actually let's say for 우리 is used for things that are to do with your family and also things to do with school. So if you're talking about your family members, you say 우리. And also school, like my classmates, my that sort of thing, then you use 우리. Outside of that, like my job, my friends, my pencils, that uses 제. And then it's not an absolute rule. You can use 제 to talk about things like your family members and stuff, but it's much more formal. If you say like 제 아빠 or 제 동생, it's like it's more formal. 우리 is a little bit more close feeling, a little bit more sort of familial feeling. Question, why do we use the object particle 를 here? So this one uses 를 because it is the object of our verb. The object is the thing being eaten, which is the vegetables, and 야채 ends on a vowel. So that's why we add 를. Now you can drop it. That's totally possible. You could say 우리 강아지들이 야채 안 먹어요. Yeah, so you can drop it, but if you were to add a particle, it would be 를. Okay, thank you so much. 우리 has a kind of personal connection. Yes, 우리 has more of a personal connection. It's less formal. Can we get some coupons or discounts? I can try and add those next time, honestly. I don't think I can do it in the middle of a live stream, but next time I think I can. When do I use 이가? So 이가 specifies the subject. So in Korean, you go subject, object, verb. Let me just highlight these. I can highlight these with some more colors. So the subject comes first, right? The object comes second. Subjects use 이가. Here they are all E because 들 ends on a consonant. So that's why they're all E. But 이가 specifies the subject in the sentence, which is who or what is doing something. That is the subject. So to see, like my friends, my younger siblings, my dogs, those are the subjects of the sentences. They use 이가. I don't know if you can tell all these colors apart. Maybe that'll help you, I'm not sure. Subjects, objects, and verbs are things that we cover earlier in the book. So definitely check those out if you want a refresh. When can we drop the r? You can drop the r really in speaking anytime. Anytime the context is clear, you can drop the r. You can drop it in writing as well, but it's not as correct. But it is very common to drop the particles in speaking when context is clear. How do I say something like we people? Instead of saying 우리 사람, sounds like my people. When do we say we people in English? I don't know. We people, we the people, that kind of thing. I think it would still be the same. I don't know, honestly. I could have a native speaker maybe who can tell the difference between we people and us people and people in general. I'm not sure. Do you have any suggestions on how I can learn vocabulary so I can study grammar? So, in our books, generally we learn them both at the same time because you kind of need vocabulary in order to learn grammar and you need grammar in order to learn vocabulary. So it's kind of a chicken and an egg situation a little bit. We do at the start of the book have a much smaller vocabulary, and we do provide a list at the start of all the vocab that you're kind of going to see, in this chapter, in this book. And we do also have flashcards as well. So I kind of encourage you to try and learn both. We do actually plan on making a vocab specific book later, but it'll probably not be till next year perhaps. But yeah, you can kind of do both at the same time. This is the level 1 workbook that I'm using. This is the book right here. This is the cover, and it is linked on this live stream and on our website. If you are in the US, you can get it through TikTok Shop. If you're not in the US, you might have to look elsewhere, buy it through our website, etc. We do also have it in PDF version as well. Yeah, you're welcome. Ebook versions, yeah, I know a lot of people like the ebook version, but there is an ebook version through Amazon or a PDF on our website. Ika is something in particular, and then something common. Yeah, Ika and Unun, that's a tricky conversation. We do talk about it in our grammar textbook. And they have multiple ways that they are different. Ika is used for something in particular in general, and Unun is used to make general truths and statements. But it's not the only difference between them. They have about 6 differences between Ika and Unun. But I'm not going to get into it right now. It's a little complicated. Even something that native speaker or, advanced learners still struggle with. I'm learning with you English and Korean because I speak Spanish. Amazing, good job. It's not easy, I think, to learn, to follow this live stream if it's not your first language, so I applaud you. I know it's not easy, so good job. Okay, let's get back on track here. I love all the questions though, keep them coming. Definitely, if you guys have questions, let me know. This D is, my cats don't like dogs. So how do we say that? Does anyone know the word for cat in Korean? Does anyone know the word for cat? No, Laura, yes. 고양이. 고양이 means cat. And to specify that you have more than one cat, 고양이들. Now remember, right, you don't have to add 들 to these words. 고양이 by itself could mean one cat or multiple cats. But if you want to specify to the listener that you have more than one cat and both of them don't like dogs, you can add 들. 우리 고양이들이, my cats, don't like dogs. So dogs here is the object. And here I'm just going to use 개 because it's shorter. 개 and 강아지 both mean dogs. 개를 안 좋아해요. 좋아해요 by itself means to like something. And 안 좋아해요 means that they don't like something. So 안 좋아해요 means not like. I don't like it. What do they don't like? They don't like 개. Who doesn't like it? The 우리 고양이, my cats. We don't use 들 for dogs. So this is kind of comes back to how 들 is not required, right? See how in English we have an S here, right? My cats don't like dogs. Because in English, if you're talking about more than one, you need to use 들. And you need to use S in English. But Korean is not the same. You could potentially say 우리 고양이들이 개들을 안 좋아해요. You could say that. It's possible. But 개를 by itself is also is fine. If I don't want to use 안, which one can I use? You can use 지 않다 as well if you don't want to use 안. What's the difference between 좋아요 and 좋아해요? So, 좋아요 is a descriptive verb. It is an adjective and it uses the subject particle. So, 좋아요 means to be good or likable. 좋아요 means to be likable. Whereas 좋아하다 is an action verb, which means to actively like something. And it uses the object particle. If you want to say 안 좋아요, we use 개가. Yes, 마, beautiful, perfect. You could also say 우리 고양이들. Although, okay, another difference between 좋아요 and 좋아해요 is that you can't use 좋아요 in the third person. So, because you're talking about the things your cats like, you can't use 좋아요 in the sentence. You have to use 좋아해요 because they're not yourself. If you're talking from your perspective, you can use 좋아요 or 좋아해요. But if you're talking about other things, like what your cats like or what your friends like or what your mum likes, things like that, you need to use 좋아해요. Yeah, you're welcome. It's a little tricky. I don't expect beginners, you don't need to know that unnecessarily. It's a little advanced, but it's a good tip if you can remember it, that 좋아해요, if you're talking about other people's likes, you need to use 좋아해요. All right. E, my relatives don't drink alcohol. My relatives don't drink alcohol. Okay, so now we have a new subject. It is 친척. 친척 is relatives. Now see this S here is in brackets, but we are going to use 들 because it's in the question. And again, it's a familiar word, so we're going to use 우리. 우리 친척들이, my relatives, they don't drink alcohol. Does anyone know what the word for alcohol is in Korean? Alcohol. No, good job. Yeah. 말, perfect. It is 술. 술 is alcohol. And it is and ends in a consonant. So we add the object particle 술을. They don't drink it. Don't is 안. Don't. Drink is 마셔요. 안 마셔요. They don't drink alcohol. 우리 친척들이 술을 안 마셔요. My relatives don't drink or don't drink alcohol. As a total beginner, it feels like drinking from the fire hose, but this is so helpful. I'm glad. Take your time, but I'm glad it's helpful. In this context, should it be 안 먹어요 when referring to alcohol? So you can use either. So you can use 먹어요 for anything that goes in your mouth. Anything that goes in your mouth, whether it's liquid or solid, can use 먹어요. 마셔요 is only used for liquids. So you could say 술을 안 먹어요 or 술을 안 마셔요. Both are fine. Was studying Korean notes and scrolled past this live stream. Amazing. Happy to have you here. Okay. So now next section we're going to be combining de and 에서. So 에서 we also learned in a previous part of this book, and we call this the location of action particle. I'm going to write that down. The location of action. This describes some location, some location as being the place you do some action. So this is what 에서 is used for. We're going to practice using sentences that use both 들 and 에서. The first one is, my friends study at the library. My friends study at the library. First thing we have our subject, which is my friends. My friends. So we know this from earlier. That's 제 친구들이. 제 means my. 친구, friend, 들, plural. 이 subject particle. 제 친구들이. Now next we're going to have our location at the library. Does anyone know what the word for library is in Korean? The word for library. Your lovely sunshine. Great sentence. Perfect. Good job. Totally. Yes. 도서관. 도서관. That is library. Now, how do you say in the library, right? This is where our location of action particle is used. 에서 means in this place. In or at this place. 제 친구들이 도서관에서 what do they do there? They study. And study in Korean is 공부해요. 제 친구들이 도서관에서 공부해요. My friends study at the library. Let's do another one. This one is my friends eat lunch at school. The first part is the same, right? My friends. 제 친구들이. Now, where are they? Does anyone know the word for school in Korean? The word for school. Kira, holy, beautiful, perfect. It is 학교. 학교 means school. And how to say in at the school is 학교에서. It is the location that some action is being done. 학교에서, what do? They eat lunch. Eating lunch is 점심. 점심 is lunch. 먹어요. We use the object particle here because 점심 is the object of our verb. You eat lunch. Object, verb. 제 친구들이 학교에서 점심을 먹어요. My friends eat lunch at school. C. Korean people make kimchi at home. Korean people make kimchi at home. So we had Korean people earlier in this live stream. It is 한국, that's the word for the country of Korea, plus 사람, which is person, plus 들, which is plural, and 이, 한국 사람들이, Korean people, at home. Home in Korean is 집, and at home is 집에서. At home. What do? They make kimchi. Now, there's a couple ways to say make kimchi. We're going to keep it simple. Anka, beautiful. Kimchi is how you say kimchi in Korean. The object particle, because we're doing it, it's the object of our verb, kimchi를. To make is 만들어요. Excuse me. 만들어요 is to make. So kimchi를 만들어요 is to make kimchi. Where do they make it? 집에서. Who makes it? 한국 사람들이. 한국 사람들이 집에서 김치를 만들어요. Okay. D. My dogs sleep inside the house. How do we say this? We have all the tools to say this. Let's have a go. First is the subject. My dogs. I'm going to say, again, there's a couple ways you can say this. You can say 제 개, 제 강아지, 우리 강아지, 우리 개. All are fine. Let's keep it short and say 개. Now we're talking about more than one dog, so we're going to add dirty. 우리 개들이. My dogs or our dogs inside the house, okay? We have it provided here. 집안. 집안 is inside the house. Literally, 안 means inside. So 집안 means inside the house. But we also need our particle. What particle do we need here? Have a think. It's not a trick question. It should be just following the trend from before. How do we say in the house, that some action is happening inside the house? 집안. What particle goes here? It's not a trick question. 에서. Yes, rear. 에서. Because the action of sleeping is done in some place. So 집안에서. And then how do you say to sleep? It is 잠을 자다. This 잠을 is not required. You can just say 자요. But it is common to add 잠을 자요 or just 자요. Both are fine. To sleep. 우리 개들이, my dogs, 집안에서, inside, they sleep. 잠을 자요. Okay, now last sentence is a little tricky because we also have this don't. Isn't eso more like from? Eso can also mean from, but only when it's being used with like going verbs, coming, going, that sort of thing. What's the difference between and eso? So indicates a place of direction. It indicates a time. It does not indicate that some action is being done in a place. If you said 집안에 잠을 자요, literally it's like you sleep to the direction of home. Oh, the difference in the words for sleep? There isn't really any difference. So in English, we don't say like, I sleep. Like that sounds strange in English. Not like you'd say like I eat breakfast or anything like that. But in Korean, there is actually a word for sleep, which is 잠. It's a noun. And then so you can say that you literally sleep. You 잠을 자다. 잠 is a noun meaning sleep, and 자요 means to sleep. To sleep as a verb and sleep as a noun. So you can say 집안에서 자요 is just I sleep at home. 집안에서 잠을 자요 is also I sleep at home. Yeah, no worries. This is just a noun, this is a verb. My cats don't sleep outside. Okay, so starting with our subject, 우리 고양이들. That's my cats. And because they're the subject of our sentence, we're going to use the subject particle, 고양이들이. Now, outside has been provided, it's 밖. 밖 means outside. The particle we need here, right, is 에서, because It's the location of some action that's being done. 밖에서. Now, how do we say that they don't sleep outside? We need our an, right? We need to use this one from the previous exercise. Now, this an needs to go before the verb. So, 잠을 안 자요. 잠을 안 자요. Don't know if you can actually see all the way to the edge. 잠을 안 자요. You can say 안 잠을 자요, but it's just it's less natural. It's more natural to say 잠을 안 자요. Or you can drop 잠을 and just say 우리 고양이들이 밖에서 안 자요. That's also fine as well. So this 잠 is optional in these sentences. But you can include it if you like. And that brings us to the end of that exercise. We practiced using 에서 to talk about doing things at some location with multiple people or things using the der object particle. Here we talked about how to use the der plural particle in sentences that involve saying that you don't do something using an. And on this page we also just practice the conjugation of ter and what it means. So that is the end of this exercise. There is also a dictation practice, which I highly recommend that you do. I won't do it right now in this live stream, but you can follow this QR code. It takes you to our website where we have a list of tracks. This is track 16 to listen to, and just write down what you hear. It's really good listening practice, good practice for your ears to sort of train yourself to be able to hear and understand spoken Korean. So definitely do that if you have the book. But for this live stream, that is the end of it. So let me know if you have any questions, last minute questions. Otherwise, we did reach the end of the lesson today. Hope you guys understood at least most of it. I don't expect you to remember every single thing, right? These things take time. Learning the language takes time. Learning all of the vocabulary takes time. But, hopefully you can at least remember, ter is what you add to nouns to make them plural. Okay. Yeah, thank you guys. When do I go live usually? I go live at 5 p.m. on Mondays and Tuesdays. When I finish this workbook, will I restart or go up a level? So I do already go up a level on Tuesdays. Tuesdays I'm going through level 2. When I finish this workbook, I think I will go back and start over on Mondays. I think, yeah. What is 잠? 잠 is sleep. 잠 is the noun meaning sleep. Thank you, Nojasaki. I appreciate you. And your lovely sunshine. Thank you guys so much. Someone asked for a screenshot. Yes, you can take a screenshot. I'm not sure which page you want, if it's this one or the other one, but you're welcome to take screenshots. If you like, you can save them. I do also post these videos on YouTube. So if you do want to go back and practice more or, check something, you can also check these videos on YouTube. You just search up Goose Apple Books. You'll find us. You'll find our videos there, and you can do that as well. Where can I buy the book? Someone asks. You can buy the book on TikTok Shop if you're in the US. If you're not in the US, you can still buy it on Amazon. If you don't have Amazon in your country, you can also buy it on our website. If you don't want to pay shipping, we do ship internationally, but if you don't want to pay shipping, you can also get the PDF. And that's just a PDF file that goes to your email and you can use it straight away. You can go at your own pace using all those sorts of things, get it straight away. There are answers in the back, and as much as possible, we do give multiple answers if there are multiple ways that you can say things. So if it is really good for self-study because there's, we add a lot of tips as well, like little tips and tricks and things like that too. So it's really useful for this as well. I have the Korean grammar one. Is this necessary or the other is enough? So that's up to you to decide. The grammar textbook has more information in it, but there's a little bit of practice exercise in the grammar textbook. If you're feeling like you want more hands-on practice, I would say get these workbooks. That gives you a lot more practice, hands-on practice at making sentences. But the textbook is good if you are using it just to reference things or just to, keep it on hand. So it just sort of depends what you're looking for and what your needs are. You can use the textbook by itself, and you can also use these things by themselves. They're designed to work together though. We did write these workbooks to go along with the textbook, but it's not necessary. You can study how you like with the tools that you like. But they are designed to go together, yeah. Okay, and yeah, that is everything though. This is the cover, one last time. And yes, it is available on TikTok Shop, is available on Amazon, is available through our website, so whatever works best for you. You can even, if you want, you can buy the PDF and print it. That's fine, we don't mind. Just keep in mind that it is almost 200 pages though, so it's not going to be a cheap printing, but if that works for you, if that's what you want to do, you're most welcome. There is audio files, there's vocab flashcards, there's all that good stuff as well, so yeah. And next time I'll be back. The next lesson we will do on next Monday is the plural particle. This is what we'll do next time, next Monday. So if you want to come back and learn a little bit more, that's what we'll be doing next time. Until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, a wonderful rest of your work week and weekend, and I'll see you next Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much. Bye. Appreciate you. 감사합니다. 다음에 봐요. Bye. Thank you.